What time is it?
It's girl time.
Girl time.
Hi, thanks for coming back. We're talking about Famous now.
We're going to talk about the best Big Time Rush song. We're talking about Famous, which I love. I was worried I wasn't going to love any of these, and then Famous existed, and I was like, oh, we got it. They did it for me.
So this one, I think really important to the song's like identity is its relationship with the band Play. They're a Swedish band. I've been struggling because I assumed that the Swedish band covered Famous by Big Time Rush. But the more I'm looking into it, I'm not sure if either of them covered each other. Can I go through the timeline really quick?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it was written by a Swedish guy. So that was my first red flag, that maybe it wasn't like a Scott Fellows close friend situation. And Wikipedia has it listed primarily as a Play song, and then they say it's covered by Big Time Rush. And then other websites say it was Big Time Rush song covered by Play. So it was in the Big Time Rush pilot, which aired in November 2009. So we know they had already recorded it by then. And the Play single wasn't released until February 15th, 2010. And the Big Time Rush single was released in June. So I think over those 7-month period, I feel like this guy wrote this song, sold it to both this band Play, who was making a comeback at the time, apparently. Yeah, I guess this group, it was a pop band that split up in 2005. And then the Swedish TV show, they went on this whole search to get a new third member. And then they joined the band, and their first single, once they got back together, was Famous.
Mm-hmm.
And it was their first single since 2004. And it's their show's theme song. So that's all very good, and I'm proud of them. Yeah, I feel like this Swedish guy wrote this song, and then he sold it to this band that was getting back together. And also, maybe he sold it to Nickelodeon first as like, hey, we're making this pilot for this TV show. So he did that, and then also was like, oh, a real band could maybe do it. So I don't think we could say like one covered the other, right? Like it's just like a weird timeline.
It feels so much like it was written for Big Time Rush, though, because, like, lyrically, it's not a comeback song. It's a, like, we are trying to make it as a band song.
Yes, but the lyrics are different between the Play version and the Big Time Rush version.
Okay.
How much did they...
So, okay. So the first one I'd like to bring up, which is, they really changed it for Big Time Rush, or changed it for Play. Again, I don't know what the original lyrics are. So in Big Time Rush, when they say, come on, we gotta work harder, fight the fight together, take it to the top. We've got the winning team, because they're a hockey team from Minnesota. So instead, Play says, I know what you're thinking, who you think you're kidding, with that $1 million look and without a dime. So that's like completely different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of completely takes out the like, yeah, we're gonna make it with teamwork.
Yeah, it makes it a little more aggressive.
Oh, absolutely. No, the Play one is definitely more aggressive. I don't mean this in necessarily like, I don't think it's bad, but in comparison, because the whole time they're saying, I know you want to, instead of Kendall, who asks, do you want to? Like he's like suggesting it. But Play is telling us that they know that we want to be famous. Also, instead of free ride, they say dream ride. Don't really know what either of those are in this situation.
Well, free ride is like you don't have to pay. People will just take you places for free.
They say star-studded supermodel magazine instead of supermarket.
Yep.
I'm gonna say my stats, which is it's 3 minutes and 6 seconds. It's an E-flat minor, which is one of the best minors. Love it. And the BPM is 120, like a normal song, and not like a weird song like Big Time Rush by Big Time Rush, which is 121.
Yeah, proud of them.
But these are for the Big Time Rush version. I don't think the Play one is in the same key. I don't remember how long it is.
Well, they don't let anyone rap at the end, so it's probably shorter.
It's probably better. Unless they do like a instrumental bridge or sing the chorus a couple more times.
Maybe, yeah. I don't remember a big instrumental, but they do have several remixes on Spotify, though, which Big Time Rush doesn't have.
Yet.
They've got like a trap remix and club remix.
I love that, and I cannot wait for trap remixes of Big Time Rush songs.
You keep
Oh my
saying
God.
it was written by...
Hey, Haleigh, you can do it. Stick right to it. I'm sorry, Ashton, go on.
No, it's just, you keep saying it was written by a Swedish guy, but it was co-written by an American guy.
Oh, that's true. I saw the guy's name had 2 S's in it when it said Carlson, so I just like really fixated on that part. And I didn't see any other Swedish writers in any of the other Big Time Rush songs, so I'm like, this guy.
Can I tell you the American writer's other credits?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote... I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. I Hate Myself for Loving You by Joan Jett. You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. Dude
Holy
Looks
shit.
Like a Lady by Aerosmith.
I did not even give a second thought about
Live in
this
La Vida
man,
Loca by Ricky Martin.
Holy shit. See, I don't think Nickelodeon hired these guys to write a song for their show. I don't think that would have happened, right?
I mean,
I think they wrote a song and then they're like, hey, can we use it for the pilot?
okay, but also Big Time Rush, the song, had a lot of big time names.
That's true. But remember, okay, Famous was in the unaired pilot, which was before they even had a name. So the song Big Time Rush didn't exist because they didn't come up with that name yet. So Famous was even before the actual pilot. So Big Time Rush should have been later. This is speculation. I don't have any facts to back any of this up.
Waking Up in Vegas by Katy Perry. You are a genius, Desmond Childs. Thank you for writing Waking Up in Vegas. And Famous, I guess.
I have another lyric comparison.
I'm
Yes,
very
I can
into
throw that
this.
in. Okay, cool. So in the bridge, when Big Time Rush says, under the spotlight, 24/7 till the end of time, Play just says, you're under the spotlight 24/7, better get it right. So it's less menacing than till the end of time, but it is a little bit more aggressive. So I guess the trade-off is between menacing and aggressive, which I do think Big Time Rush's version of Famous is a little bit menacing, but in like a good way.
Yeah, I love
Does that
it.
make sense? We need to talk about it thematically for
yeah,
sure.
I definitely looked up to see if there is, like AMV style Truman Show Famous music video, because the bridge mostly makes me think of it. All day, all night, the camera's on and it never lies. 24/7 till the end of time.
Yeah.
Like, it's Truman
So
Show.
all of that, yeah, it's very right. And especially those lines, because that definitely makes it sound like a criticism of American fame
Right.
and celebrity and all that stuff, which I don't think you get as much in the play version. I think that's a lot more like, yeah, you want to be famous like us. Like, if you get more of that vibe. But then in Big Time Rush, these are 16-year-olds singing about how they're going to be under the spotlight for 24/7 until the end of time. And they're like, oh, you want to be famous? Do you want to be famous? Really?
Right.
And that's what I get. And it's like, I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot, guys.
24/7 is foreshadowing.
Absolutely.
Also, this is a complete coincidence, but the bass line during the bridge reminds me a lot of Jenny Was a Friend of Mine by The Killers. I think just because they're in the same key, but they are pretty similar. And that song is about a guy trying to convince the police that he didn't strangle this girl to death on the beach, which he definitely did. So that adds another layer of menace to it.
Did he become famous?
No. I mean, it comes right before Mr. Brightside. Like, it's on that album.
So if they wanted to be famous, they were famous.
Yeah.
I can talk about my big time Logan lyric discrepancy
Absolutely.
of the decade.
Please.
This one's not that dramatic. It's just prevalent in my life. It's in the rap when he says, just one thing you can't forget takes more than just wanting it.
Yeah.
It does not sound like he's saying wanting it. I don't know if it's my ears, because it sounds like he's saying takes more than just one day, which is also true and what also could be a line in the song, I feel like. But I've listened to it so many times and I can't hear wanting it. I hear like a consonant instead of the word it. It's been driving me crazy for
He
so
says, like,
long, guys.
Wanting it.
Yeah, but it sounds like a D syllable and the second like
Wanting
N.
it.
Wanting
The
it.
T sounds like a D.
Yeah. And I don't hear the I. Because I think he just really focuses on those consonants. So I think that's scientifically
He's trying
what's
to make
going
up
on.
for Dover Night. I want to highlight the backing vocals during Logan's rap because
I was just thinking about them today in the car. That's so funny.
it's just, is it Carlos or is it Kendall or is it all of them?
I don't know.
I can't really tell, but Logan's rapping and they're just going, famous, 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 and like that's, they just say the word famous.
I think that's just the instrumental.
Well, I know there are songs out there where in the background vocals sometimes you can still hear Curt Hansen before they replaced him with Kendall Schmidt. So maybe he's in there.
Oh,
They weren't able to remove him,
which is wild.
I guess.
That's good, because they do sort of sound like they're pleading for help at that point.
Oh, this is getting so scary.
Like
I love this song.
When you were talking about the Killers, it was because you were talking about how this song sounds like one of their songs, and that's what reminded me that the intro of it, the do makes me think of "You Are Now Rocking with Will I."
No.
And it could fit over it, and I wanted to share that.
This is really, really, really niche, and you can cut it, but there's a song by this British boy band from like the 80s called Bros, and it's called
The
When
band is
Will
called
I
Bros. I'm obsessed.
Yes. And it's called When Will I Be Famous? And it's a bonkers song. I highly recommend it. There's a lot going on. I found it because I was reading a ranking of the best key changes of all time. And this person put it at number 1, and I was like, what's this song I've never heard of? Why is the key change so good? And it's because they change one of the chords when they modulate it. The chord progression for the chorus is just E minor, C7, repeat. And then when they do the key change, it's C minor, and then A flat. So the jazzy fun 7 goes away, and then it just makes it way more serious and desperate. Like, when will they be famous for real, though? And that's kind of what those backing vocals made me think of.
So I want to talk about the chords really quick. I know there's that one time a few months ago when we were drunk and arguing over what the chords actually were to this song.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was thinking at the time. I know it's an E flat minor. I got that far. It sounds to me like it's just minor 1 and then major 7, major 4. That's just what the whole thing sounds like to me, and I don't know if that's correct.
No, I have trouble with that 4. I don't know if it's major. That's what I thought it was. That's what I hope it was, because I think it sounds good, but I think it's just a 5th, so it's not major or minor, but I don't know.
But it's definitely a 4, right?
Yeah.
And they, I love their dedication to not using the 5 chord.
If anybody knows what that chord is and wants to tell us, please do that. I think I got alcohol poisoning that night, so don't do that to yourself.
Well, I have my stats, though, for how much the boys get to sing lead.
Go.
First, I want guesses as to
it's gotta be Kendall,
who's singing
right?
the most.
Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah,
Kendall
he's
wins.
57%. Absolutely.
Carlo.
Logan.
Yeah, it's Carlos.
I thought it was because
James and Logan actually tie for the 16%. Logan's only allowed to rap. They don't think they'd let him sing lead at all.
The fact that they let him rap, like...
Oh, no, it does count. Like, I did count it in his stuff, but I don't think he sang at all lead during the rest of it.
Carlos holds those notes for a while, and then Logan is just rapping as quickly as I think he can. So I thought he would be the least.
I mean, Carlos's bridge is pretty short. I would love to talk about the music video for a little bit. Real quick, I just want to talk about the Play music video, just for some comparison. So theirs is 3 women wearing flannel driving through a desert and then dancing in said desert.
Are these 3 women Play?
Wild if they weren't.
I'm assuming.
I know.
I mean, they were singing and dancing, so I'm assuming they were them. And then at the very end, I don't know what LA looks like because I've never been there, but I'm assuming that's the city they ended up in. So I guess they were driving through the desert, and then they did finally make it to LA in the end. I mean, yeah, that's most of it. And then the Big Time Rush music video is kind of they mix up footage from a concert in Times Square they did in June 2010. Then also footage of them like sitting on stools in the recording studio
Which is
doing the
fun.
vocals. I think the concert footage is kind of fun because it also shows them like buying street pretzels. So I enjoyed that one. And then they like just jumped off of a fountain. Maybe it was the fountain from Friends.
I don't think that fountain's really in New York. I think it's in LA.
One of my favorite things about the music video is that all of the fans who are like in the front rows while they're performing, they're holding up digital cameras to take photos. And I had a minor like crisis about the passage of time.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with it. I'm like, oh God, I also brought my digital camera to the Big Time Rush concert. Yikes. I don't know if you guys picked up on it in the recording studio clips when they're all just singing their parts into the microphone. They do like buddy stuff where they're just encouraging each other and like nodding. But Carlos keeps hitting the other ones when they're trying to sing, and it's in like a playful way, but he just keeps hitting them and they're just trying to sing their lines. It kept getting me. He does it so many times.
That's how he shows his support and affection.
Yeah. It's a fun little music video, but it's really not memorable. Like, I'm sure I watched it a lot in my youth, but nothing stuck with me.
The video also cuts most of the intro to the song, which I didn't like, because the song is perfect.
In the music video they did?
Yeah, like before the main guitar riff starts.
Oh, you mean all the camera sounds and everything? Okay.
Which makes it sound like a Hannah Montana song, and that one...
It is a Hannah Montana song, fundamentally.
Right. And it sounds like that one Fall Out Boy song, the camera shutters. Because I have both of them on my playlist, and I think the Hannah Montana one too.
Let's get crazy.
Oh man, which one is it today?
Are you guys also thinking about Miley Cyrus doing Logan's rap?
Stop.
Or is that just me
That's
over
just
here?
You for now, but I think she would do a good job.
I don't know.
I've never heard her. Well, I'm sure I've seen her rap on Hannah Montana.
The
like
Hoedown Throwdown?
Hoedown Throwdown?
Yeah. Is that rapping? Look, I don't remember that song. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if that's anything other than the Hoedown Throwdown. Like, it defies genre.
Man, we used to do that during cheerleading.
Oh, nice. That's about all I had written down for famous. If you guys have any other thoughts?
I think that the idea that it ends with famous means that you're the best, and I don't think that's true necessarily. It's a very interesting stance that they take.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a stance they're taking. I think it has to do with the whole theme we were talking about. Like, it feels kind of, I don't know if satirical is the right word. Sarcastic is not, it's not that far. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're saying, yeah, famous means you're the best. But it's really like, they're saying not. Yeah. So that's how I hear it.
Yeah, the song makes way more sense when you look at it as ironic.
Yeah. Ironic, I think, was the word I was trying to think of.
Couldn't
come up with that one today. But yeah, I think that it fits in with that minor key. And then it was interesting how Play kept saying, you want to be famous. But then they keep asking, do you want to be famous? And James says, do you need to have your name in lights on the Hollywood sign?
Yeah.
That sort of thing, where it's like...
Remember when somebody vandalized it to say Holly Weed? That was the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Was that last year?
I think it was longer than that. It's like 2 years ago.
Oh, the other lyric is when they say, it's the American dream. That definitely feels ironic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, America's obviously has a lot of, its own stuff, going on. So when they say American dream, I'm like, I don't know if were these 16-year-olds already disillusioned with the state of the country at
Would
the time?
They have been disillusioned with it in 2009? I think it was a little bit less bad then.
Agreed.
Still disillusionment, though. And you have to recognize that, like, even in the show, Big Time Rush did not write this song.
That's true.
Yeah, because in the show, it's the first episode, they're not disillusioned yet. That's why I feel like it wasn't written specifically for Big Time Rush, because otherwise I think it would have been a lot more like the song Big Time Rush, more encouraging. Yeah. And this feels very discouraging.
Yeah, because if you read it that way, as being ironic, it doesn't fit into any of the boy band song categories, because obviously it's not about a girl, it's not saying you're beautiful, it's not saying you're valid in any way, and it's not saying that everything's going to be okay.
I think they have some of the most straightforward music I've ever heard in my life, except this one individual song.
Yeah.
Everything else, they don't really use a lot of metaphors.
Poker.
They're definitely general, so you can apply it to, like, anyone.
Which is another staple of a boy band song. It's almost like the Bella Swan character. You have to be able to imprint yourself in it.
So, yeah, we definitely encourage you to listen to Famous. It's a good song.
It's a great song. Listen to the play version too for enrichment.
Also, if you feel like you don't have time to listen to a whole song, we will be uploading the song with every other beat removed, so you can just go do that as well. It's also pretty good. Lyrically, it creates a different theme. I haven't really looked into the lyrics thematically, but
it makes Logan's rap really fun.
Yeah, their rap's very good.
And send us your theories, I guess, about who you think wrote it, or who it was written for. We know who wrote it. So that's Famous. Thank you for listening.
Follow us.
You can follow us. No, I forgot all of the handles.
You just go to bigtimerushpod.podbean.com. It'll have all the links on there. That link's also on our Instagram if you just want to go to, it's from rushers_with love. Or just Google us. You'll find us. I don't think there's any other Big Time Rush podcasts, except for that one really mysterious, like, deactivated one that Haleigh and I were looking at. It seemed like they just did little promos. It was like an official one.
Yeah, it was
but
weird.
They just did little like promos for episodes and songs. The audio files, I think, have been removed because none of it would play for me.
So if you are a part of that
one.
podcast,
they're not them.
Yeah, but if you are them, hit us up if you want to, like, fight
collaboration
or something.
Oh, that too.
No, we don't. I don't know why I went straight to fight.
They're disillusioned.
And shout out to our logo artist, Molly, who you can find on Instagram at MOLLLYMAYY, which is just Molly May.
But we do have it linked in our Instagram.
We have to go. Our pants are cold.
Stop.
Girl.